Hi, I know the title might seem a bit odd, but I was just thinking about the world that we give our fish, and I watch way too much YouTube. You find some strange things on there. So I just thought I'd talk about what I try to achieve when I give my fish their world, because this is their whole world. You know, we make it for them, we put in decorations and plants that we like. So the biggest part, I suppose some people might put in plants that they know their fish like. But I wonder sometimes, do they even think about it? Do they even think about the world we've made for them? I mean, I think that if my fish did think about it, they would believe that they lived on a flat earth. They can see from horizon to horizon. They live under a dome. You know, they probably are flat earthers, and nothing wrong with that. I personally believe we live on a globe, but I live and let live. But I've never really changed the designs of homes I've given my fish. I really like the river-looking design. When I had my small tank, I went a bit SpongeBob. But we don't talk about that anymore, because that was just a time in my life when, you know, I must have been going through some strange things, but really, I do like this more natural look, and I'm sure the fish don't really care, as long as they're fed, clean, they have plants to pick at. I'm sure they're quite happy. When I started to buy bigger tanks, or I thought about buying a bigger tank, I really wanted 150 gallon. I started off my fish career with a 150 gallon tank, and I loved decorating it with hundreds and hundreds of plants. So I felt that when my fish were swimming, every part of the tank was a little bit different. I had some heavily planted, I had some open, I had a more whimsical area where, you know, I think at one point we may have had a sunken ship and that awful little diver with his treasure chest. But I had a rather large male Siamese fighting fish in that tank, and he would go into the plants for days and we'd not see him, and then he'd come out, he'd be on his big adventure, and he'd swim about the front of the tank for a while and they'd disappear again. And I do quite like that effect, and I really wanted 150 gallon, but my husband said we didn't have room for it. But no, I think we may find room for it. I do like just normal community fish in a large tank. I like big fish, but I like big fish in a pond. I really loved seeing normal community fish in really large tanks. So my little flat earthers here, they seem quite happy with their tank. You don't realise until it's morning how many fish are actually in this tank. During the day I don't see hardly any of these. They all go off into their own part of the world, and I don't see them. The cories are out because they know once the light goes on the wafers go in, and they've got to get to it before the guppies. And in fact, some of my cories are hiding now. So what I really want to do with this is make this a lot more green. I feel myself that the tank feels bigger the more that the fish can hide. The more greenery they've got to swim in and out of, it makes the tank look larger. And then my fish can carry on living in their world where they go through space on a disc on the back of a turtle held up by 4 elephants, which would be quite cool. I wish I could make a table like that just to put them on. So I don't know if you've ever thought about how your fish think about their world and what they are, and or perhaps you don't have as much free time as me. Oh, there's Sapphire. She's just come back from her adventure, probably trying to find guppy babies. She's grown quite an amazing fish. She was very tiny when we got her, really bullied by some of the tetras. And she has now grown. I don't know if you can even gauge her size from this. If you look at Victor, from the top of his top fin to the bottom of his bottom fin, he's about 9 inches. So you can tell that she's a fair sized fish too. I don't know, about going on for 3 inches, I think, maybe. I'm sure she would love a 150-gallon tank. I've still not properly woken them up yet. I haven't turned the light right up. That's why they're fairly calm, because they know they don't get fed till the light gets turned on fully.